I want to talk about what's going on with the new James Bond film because I'm really wondering how this film is going to perform in the box office. It comes out in November. I think they moved the date again. Right now, as it stands, it comes out November 12th in the UK, November 20th in the US. Now, this is interesting because there's a lot of days in between the 12th and the 20th. And if this movie's terrible, we're going to know about it, at least over here in the US, before it even comes out, because all the spoilers that we've been hearing about this film will pretty much be confirmed or denied. And there's a lot of spoilers that are coming out about this film. If you remember, they're on record saying that this is going to be the James Bond for the Me Too era and stuff like that. So I'm interested in how they're going to make this work because, well, I mean, James Bond is kind of a man's man type of character. He's supposed to be the character that, men want to be and stuff like that. And if you're going to turn him into some wimp, it's not really going to have the same appeal. So I'm not really going to touch too much on the rumors that have already been out there. I've done videos on those. That's not really what this is. It's the idea of what they're going to use to kind of anchor him down. And that's that they might be giving him a kid. So the big tease here, No Time to Die rumor teases a wild chance for James Bond. And that's that he's going to have a little Bond running around. So spoilers, right? There's spoilers here. But I do want to say none of this is confirmed. These are rumors and leaks. We don't know for sure if that's even true. So before anyone gets mad that the movie got ruined for them, there's no confirmation of this. So I just want to put that out there. It's just something that's being thrown around. But that's the tease, the wild change. This would be a way to ground him. If you give him a daughter, that would change his perception and how he treats women and bring him in line with his misogynistic ways. How they change him. Don't forget that they brought in Phoebe Waller to kind of bring him to speed. And that's kind of one of the big reasons why I think that this rumor might be true. They brought her in, and now they've been changing everything. Got Bond girls and now Bond women. This is going to be the star of the movie right here, by the way. The woman in this picture. The rumor is that I really don't like that this movie seems that the rumors I really don't like for this movie are that she's going to be the star of the show and kind of one-upping him all the time. I mean, you saw it in the trailer. She's calling him like a dinosaur and making fun of his bum knee and stuff. Like, I don't want to go see a James Bond movie where James Bond is a wimp and getting treated like garbage. I don't think that's the movie anybody wants to see that likes this character. Nobody wants to see James Bond turned into a wimp. However, this would change things a little bit by giving him a kid. It'd be the first time the character has ever had something like this. In fact, he's never been, well, no, I take that back. He has been married once, and that was in, I think it was Her Majesty's Secret Service. I don't even think that actor that played him came back for a different movie, if I'm remembering correctly. But he was married in that, and then his wife got killed in the movie on their wedding day, if I remember. It's been a long time since I've watched that one. But that's the only time something like this has ever happened to the character. I think it's safe to assume that James Bond does have probably many illegitimate children across the earth. That's probably a safe assumption. But this would be the first one that's actually lived with him. I'm making that up with the kids. There's no record of that. It was just a bad joke. But anyway, so here's what they're saying. In what will be a massive shift for the iconic character if it turns out to be true, the Daily Mail is reporting that when No Time to Die opens, James Bond will have a 5-year-old daughter with Dr. Madeline Swan. While previous reports have told us that No Time to Die would open with James Bond retired and living with Swan in Jamaica, this is the first we've heard the duo is not alone. The paper cites unnamed sources as confirming this rumor, as well as a call sheet which reportedly makes references to a child character in the film. So I don't know if this is true or not, but this is a big deal if it is. And like I said, this is, of course, probably coming from Phoebe Waller, who wants to bring this into time. Like, she's the reason this character is changing. That's why they brought her in, to do this. And this, of course, will have big changes for the characters. It's either going to revolutionize him or ruin him, just as Screen Rant says in here. And they're right. You're going to make big changes to the character by doing this. And make no mistake, they're doing this for one reason, so that he stops being a womanizer, which is the reason why they're giving him the daughter. If this is even true. This isn't a confirmed rumor. I want to put that out there. Daily Mail did report on it. It could be legit. I don't know. Not sure. But given what they want to do with the character, it does make sense. And I think that it's a bad move because they're not doing it for natural reasons. This isn't a legit reason for them to do this. It's to give him an anchor because they want to get rid of those misogynistic tendencies, as they say right here in this article, which is exactly why they're doing it. And I'm telling you, the character works, and changing him to this kind of an extent is probably going to do damage. We'll see. But let's see what they're saying here in this article. Giving James Bond a daughter provides obvious opportunities for Bond to reckon with his well-established misogynistic tendencies. In many ways, 007 has become problematic, and many are even arguing for the film franchise to end. The womanizing super spy who kills for MI6 is certainly not the most relevant character in modern cinema. Aside from Bond's decades-long history of viewing women as little more than objects, the film franchise itself has seen a surprising number of Bond girls die, often violently. What better than a daughter to force Bond to confront his misogynistic past? It's not a very good reason for the character to have a daughter. To change the character fundamentally like that, in my opinion, would be a massive mistake. That's too much of a change for the character. You know, you have characters where this has worked very well, and it's a natural next step. I can think of when they gave Superman a son recently. That worked. This is a little bit different. And if you start changing a lot of the core things that people like about this character, he's not the same character anymore, and it's just not really worth seeing this. It's not really worth going to see him. At that point, what separates him from other movie franchise characters? If you change the things that people like about him. When you have a character like Superman, and I know I'm comparing the two, but the point of what I'm saying here is giving a character a kid like this. When they gave Superman one, it just really kind of enhanced the things that you liked about him. Giving James Bond a kid is going to change the things that you like about him. And that's one of the reasons that I'm really wondering if this is... I think they're going to regret this move. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this will work out. Maybe it'll be awesome. These are all things that could happen, for sure. I just don't think so. I don't think that that's going to work out. And I think changing him from a womanizer into some soccer dad wimp is going to change the reason that people like the character. You know, a lot of people want to fantasize about being that secret agent that's, you know, hooking up with beautiful women and stuff like that. That's part of the appeal of the character, is the fantasy of being him. And I just think that this is going to backfire in their faces at the studios if this is true. And I think it's going to make the box office take for these movies get worse over time. Might work with this one, but in the one after that and that and that, I don't know. It's tough to say because all I'm doing here is speculating. But in my opinion, I think that this is a huge disaster. But we will find out, apparently, November 12th in the UK and the 20th in the US. Will this be a hit or will it be a disaster? I don't know. I think it's a big mistake. And I'll end it off with some good news. It does look like Cinemark is joining AMC in trying to open up theaters on the 17th of July. They're, of course, trying to get ready for Tenet, which I believe moved till July 30th, at least according to this. I think it changed. I think it was originally going to come out earlier in July. They're holding Tenet to a July release, and I think that it's still going to avoid on-demand screening as far as I can tell. We'll see if that changes. Mulan comes out on the 24th, so you have new films coming out in July. And then, of course, I've heard reports that they're going to re-release movies. I think some old Nolan movies are coming back to theaters, like Interstellar, and it's going to have like sneak peeks or something attached to it. I don't know. How is that any different than having previews? But who knows? I don't know what they're doing at this point. I wonder if movie theaters are going to be able to survive with the restrictions that states are trying to put on them to even open up in the first place. Like, it's going to be costly, and they've already been bleeding money. AMC is on the verge of collapsing. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, give me your thoughts, guys. What do you think about James Bond? I'd like to hear what you guys think about him having a kid. Do you think that that can work? Do you think that's the next step for the character? Do you think, am I wrong? Let me know. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Also, if you would throw a like up, share the video, make sure you're still subscribed. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell, and I will see you on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out.